One of the biggest mistakes men make is waiting. We wait for a woman to look us dead in the eye and say, "Hey, I want to sleep with you." We wait for the unmistakable, neon green light, the kind you see in movies. Let me be clear, you will wait forever. That's not how women, especially high-quality women, communicate desire. It's not a game. It's a sophisticated, often subconscious process of risk assessment. The truth is, she is telling you, she's just not using your language. She's using hers. It's a language of subtlety, of vulnerability, and of testing. She needs to know you're safe mentally, emotionally, and physically before she ever gives you the full green light. In this video, we're going to decode the exact things she says that men consistently misunderstand. We're going to map the journey from her first maybe to her final yes. And the first thing she'll say, it isn't a compliment. It isn't flirtatious. The first thing she's looking for, the first signal she sends is about one thing and one thing only: safety. Before she can desire you, she must feel safe with you. This is the prerequisite. This is the foundation for everything. Emotional connection isn't just important. It's the doorway through which everything else flows. If that emotional doorway isn't open, it doesn't matter how attractive you are, how much money you make, or how smooth your lines are. She won't let you in. So the first signals are not about attraction. They are about permission. The very first signal you'll hear is this: I feel really comfortable with you. Now, I know what you're thinking. You hear comfortable, and your brain screams friend zone. You think the attraction is dead. You are wrong. This is perhaps the most critical misunderstanding in modern dating. The friend zone is a myth men created to cope with rejection. More accurately, it's a place men put themselves when they fail to understand that comfort is not the opposite of attraction. It is the foundation of it. When a woman says, I feel comfortable with you, she is not saying, you're like a brother to me. She is saying, my guard is starting to come down. Think about it. Her entire life, consciously and subconsciously, she has had to keep her guard up. Comfort is the absence of that tension. Comfort is her nervous system literally telling her, you are not in danger here. This isn't trivial. This is profound. She is watching your reaction to this statement. If you get nervous, if you act disappointed that she's only comfortable, or if you immediately try to escalate things physically to prove you're not a friend, you've failed. You've just confirmed her subconscious fear that your interest was conditional and that you aren't actually safe. The correct response is to validate it, to acknowledge her signal and hold that space. You've passed level 1. You've proven you're safe. This leads directly to the second signal, which is a level deeper than comfort. It's the test of that comfort. She will say something like, I can't believe I'm telling you this. Or, I don't normally talk about this. This is the vulnerability test. This is where she actively explores the boundaries of the safety you've created. She is intentionally giving you a small piece of her inner world, a minor insecurity, a past frustration, a secret goal to see what you do with it. She is handing you a fragile, precious thing and watching your hands. Will you crush it? Will you judge it? Will you use it against her? Will you, worst of all, try to fix it? This is a critical moment. The average man will do one of two things. The fixer, he immediately offers solutions. You shouldn't feel that way. Here's what you need to do. He invalidates her feeling by trying to argue it away. He makes it about his competence, not her experience. The pouncer, he uses her vulnerability as a chance to lecture or take control. That's crazy. You just need to be more confident. Both are wrong. Both fail the test. When a woman shows you vulnerability, she is not asking for a solution. She is asking for connection. She is testing to see if you can handle her reality without flinching. Let's go deeper. Why this test? From a psychological perspective, this is a receptiveness test. She's not just checking if you'll judge her, she's checking if you have the capacity to handle her. Can you frame your sense of self? Absorb her truth without breaking. Men are often tested for physical strength, but high-value women test for emotional strength. Can you sit in the fire of her vulnerability without getting burned or trying to put the fire out? When you pass, you signal you are a protector, not just of her body, but of her psyche. This is incredibly rare. The high-value man, the man she can trust, just listens. He nods. He holds that space for a beat. He doesn't fix. He validates. He doesn't judge. He connects. When you do this, you've proven you are emotionally safe. The door doesn't just stay open. It swings open wider. You've shown that your strength isn't in fixing her, but in being strong enough to handle her truth, now only after she feels safe. And after you've passed the vulnerability test, does she begin to send signals of actual attraction? This is where the compliments come in. But again, they are coded. The third signal you'll hear is, you're different from other guys. This is a classic negative to positive formula. It sounds like a simple compliment, but it's far more powerful. She is not just complimenting you. She is telling you, I have been actively comparing you to every other man in my recent memory. And you won. Women, just like men, categorize, but they do it differently. They are constantly running subconscious simulations. How would he react in this situation? How would he handle this pressure? When she says you're different, it means you have passed these invisible tests. You've been compared to guys who were pushy, guys who were weak, guys who were selfish, guys who were judgmental, and you've been moved out of that general category. It means she stopped seeing you as a guy and started seeing you as the guy. It means she's actively been imagining you in different, more intimate scenarios, and you passed her private tests. This different compliment is her verbalizing that you've been upgraded. You are no longer just a potential date. You are a strong candidate. This leads to the fourth signal, which is the peak of the safety phase and the true beginning of the desire phase. I feel like I can just be myself around you. This is the holy grail of comfort. Think about the immense, exhausting pressure women feel to perform, to be on, to look perfect, to be agreeable, to be chill, to laugh at the right times, to not be too much or too needy. It's a social mask they are conditioned to wear from a very young age. When she says, I can be myself, she's saying, I can put down the mask. I don't have to perform for you. I am not afraid you will judge the real, unpolished, complex person underneath. For a woman, that feeling of total acceptance, that freedom is one of the most powerful aphrodisiacs on the planet. This is the aphrodisiac of acceptance. Most of attraction is performative. Men perform strength. Women perform beauty. It's a dance of masks. But performative attraction is fragile. It dies under pressure. Authentic attraction, the kind that leads to deep intimacy, is built on acceptance. When she says, I can be myself, she's telling you that the performance is over. She is inviting you behind the curtain. The man who falls in love with the mask is a risk, but the man who sees and values the real person behind it, that is the man she can trust with her body. Why? Because true intimacy isn't just physical. It's the intimacy. It's the ability to be fully seen, flaws and all. and not be rejected. When you give her that space, when she feels she doesn't have to work to earn your approval, the attraction for you skyrockets. Because you're not just attracted to the mask she wears for the world, you're connecting with the real person underneath. Okay, she feels safe. She's tested your ability to handle her vulnerability. She's complimented you and separated you from the pack. She feels she can be her true self. Now, what now? She begins to build the bridge to intimacy. This is part 4, the intentional bridge. She's no longer just allowing connection, she's actively inviting it. The 5th signal is when she starts talking about relationships, intimacy, and chemistry. She's testing your views. She's testing the waters of intimate topics without making it about you two. Yet, she might bring up a movie with an intense love scene, or she'll bring up a story about a friend, or even an ex. You know, my ex-boyfriend never made me feel desired. He never really listened to her. She is not just venting about her ex. She is literally handing you the instruction manual for her heart and her body. She is telling you, this is what I want. This is what turns me on. This is what I didn't get. She is future pacing. She's subconsciously interviewing you for the role of her partner. She's checking to see if you are emotionally intelligent enough to pick up the clue. She's saying, this is the role. Are you capable of playing it? She's also checking for your reaction. Are you mature enough to hear about her past without getting jealous? Are you perceptive enough to understand what she's really saying? This flows into the 6th and most direct signal before the final one, the flirtatious test. She's built the bridge. And now she's inviting you to walk across it. She's putting the ball in your court. Explicitly, she will start making playful, cheeky comments. Things like, you always know how to make me blush, don't you? Or, if I keep hanging around you, I'm going to get in trouble. This is not small talk. This is a direct invitation wrapped in plausible deniability. She is testing your confidence. She's feeling the moment. And she's checking if you are too. And here, again, most men fail. The oblivious man, he lacks confidence. He laughs nervously and backs away, breaking the tension. Haha, me, no, not me. He's just signaled that he's afraid of the energy between them. The pouncer, he lacks emotional intelligence. He takes it as a literal green light and lunges in, making a crude comment or moving in too fast, proving he can't handle the subtlety. Both fail. The man who understands just matches her energy. He doesn't back away. He holds his ground. He meets her gaze. He smiles. He accepts the invitation playfully. He proves he can handle the flirtation, the tension, and the energy without breaking the frame. This brings us to the final signal. She feels safe. She's shown you her vulnerability. She's told you you're different. She's invited you onto the bridge of intimacy. You've passed the flirtatious test. You've passed every test. Now, she will give you the final key. It's the answer to the title of this video. It is the one phrase that carries more weight than any other. The first and last thing she needs to say before she is truly, deeply ready. Is this, I trust you. That's it. It's so simple. It sounds so polite, so platonic, and yet, for a woman, those 3 words are everything. When a woman looks you in the eye and says, I trust you, she is not just saying, I trust you won't steal my wallet. She is saying, I have run all the calculations. I have tested you with my comfort. I have tested you with my vulnerability. I have tested you with my flirtation, and you did not fail. She is saying, you did not judge me. You did not push me. You did not make me feel unsafe. You did not try to fix me. She is saying, I feel safe with you. Think about it. Safety is the first green light. Trust is the final green light. Trust, for her, is the last emotional checkpoint. It's the prerequisite for physical intimacy. It's not a passive state. It's an active decision. When she says, I trust you, she is saying, I trust myself with you. I trust you with my emotions, my vulnerability, and yes, my body. Let's be absolutely clear what this trust means. It's not just emotional. For a woman, the line between emotional and physical trust is inextricably linked. They are the same thing. Saying I trust you is her conscious mind giving permission to her subconscious. Primal instincts. It's her rational brain, the watchtower, telling her body, the castle, that it's safe to lower the drawbridge. This is why pouncing is so catastrophic. It proves the watchtower was wrong. It triggers a code red in her entire nervous system. And that drawbridge will come slamming up, and it will be twice as hard to lower it again. At that moment, her mind is no longer focused on protecting herself. It has shifted. She is now focused on the possibility of connecting with you. That is the invitation. And now we come to the final part, how not to fail this, the final test. So what's the first thing she says? It was never one phrase. It was a ladder. It started with, I feel comfortable. It climbed to, I don't normally tell people this. It moved to, you're different from other guys. It peaked with, I can be myself around you. It bridged with, what do you think of that chemistry? And it landed on the ultimate signal, I trust you. And this right here is where so many good, well-intentioned men fail. They hear, I trust you, and they misinterpret it as, let's go to bed. Right now, they hear the yes, and they immediately pounce. They break the very trust they just worked so hard to earn. They get pushy. They get needy. They stop leading with patience and start taking with impatience. They stop being the man who earned the trust and become just like every other guy she was afraid of. They break the spell, and the moment is gone. The secret is to not just hear her trust, but to honor it. When she gives you that ultimate gift, I trust you. The correct response is not to push, it's to receive. It's to meet that vulnerability with maturity, presence, and care. You don't rush. You match her energy. You let her set the final physical pace. Because she's already set the emotional one. Your desire is obvious. But her desire is rooted in how deeply she feels she can let go. Not just her clothes, but her guard, her doubts, her fears. So the next time a woman looks you in the eye and says, I feel so comfortable with you, or I trust you, don't take it lightly. That's not just a compliment. That is the sound of a door. Unlocking. It's not just about attraction. It's about alignment. Have you ever heard one of these signals and completely missed it? Have you ever heard, I trust you, and failed the test? Let me know your story in the comments. And in the next video, we're going to cover the 3 exact ways to match her energy when she gives you that final green light. How to escalate without destroying the moment. Subscribe so you don't miss it.